Hi there, students. Explicit or implicit? Something that is explicit is clearly stated in detail. There's no possibility of confusion. There's nothing left to your imagination. Whereas something that is implicit is suggested but not directly expressed. So, for example, imagine a sign on a door. It says, "No entry." This is explicit. It clearly states, "Do not enter here." However, if the sign on the door says, "Danger," then I think it's implicit that you should not go in. But it doesn't directly say, "Do not go in." Whether you enter or not is something that you need to think about. Okay? So they're saying that there's a danger, but they're not explicitly, directly saying, "Do not go in." It's only implicit. It's only implied. So if something is implicit, you need to read between the lines. You need to think about what this suggests. If something is explicit, there is nothing that is implied. Everything is stated directly, and you don't need to read anything between the lines. Okay? So absolutely nothing implied. Notice with explicit, you could explain something explicitly. Explain it clearly in direct words, not indirectly. So an explicit explanation explains all of the details. It shows exactly how to do it. If you go to a shop and you buy a piece of flat pack furniture, normally they are accompanied by explicit instructions with diagrams. Screw A goes into hole 3. Okay? And they should be explicit instructions. If they gave you the flat pack furniture with just the things to mount or put together your piece of furniture, but no instructions, then I guess it is implicit that how to put this together. You need to imply and look at it and think about it, and find the way to construct your piece of furniture. But it's much better to have something explicit, because then you know exactly where you stand. Okay, something that is implicit can also mean something that is essentially tied to something else. So, for example, if you want to go shopping, it's implicit that you have enough money to pay for the things you want to buy. Without that, you can't go shopping. If you say, "I want to learn really good English," well, it's implicit that you will have to study hard and learn a lot of vocabulary. It's part and parcel of it. If you are a plant and live using photosynthesis, it is implicit that you have something to convert the sun's energy into the sun's rays into energy. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is implicit in being a plant. Okay, it's something that is essential. It's essentially tied to it. Okay. So, explicit, again, a third meaning. If something is explicit, it can talk about a graphic sexual description of something. Graphically explained sex. So he had a magazine with explicit photos. Okay, they were very clear photos and you could see exactly what was happening. Nothing was implied or left to the imagination. Yeah, it's explicit. It shows you sex directly. Yeah, so if something is explicit, it's saying it's got graphic sexual descriptions. You can see the sex graphically. It's not hidden behind any curtain. We can also use the word implicit to mean unqualified, unreserved. So I have implicit faith in you, absolute faith in you. I have no doubts about you at all. Yeah? Okay? My faith in you is implicit. It's part of the way I see you. Yeah? So without qualifications or reserves. So let's look at these again. Explicit, clearly stated in detail, no possibility for conclusion. Explicit, explained verbally, clearly with clear words and no ambiguity. Explicit, a sexual description of sex where nothing is left to the imagination. Implicit, something that is suggested but not said directly, something between the lines. Something that is implicit can be part and parcel of something else. You can't have one without the other. Yeah? Being English, it's implicit that you speak the English language. Yeah, it's something implied. It's not, you don't need to say it because it's so clear. And then I have implicit trust in you. My faith in you is implicit. He believes in God implicitly, unreservedly, without any qualifications, absolutely. So what about the origin of these two words? Well, explicit and implicit. Ex, out, and inside. And then from Latin, plicare, to fold. So explicit folds out. So if you open something out, you can see all of it. And implicit, fold in, yeah, something's inside it, but you can't actually see what it is. And that's the idea. So what about the formality of these two adjectives? An explicit explanation. I would say this is slightly formal. You could probably use it in an informal conversation. I'd give it maybe a 6 out of 10, but it's definitely best for a formal writing. Yeah? If you wanted to say explicit informally, clearly explained. Yeah? And implicit, I would say the same. 6 out of 10 in formality. You could use it in an informal conversation. I think more informally I'd say suggested or something like that, or between the lines. But you could also use implicit. I think it's a good word for a more formal writing. Okay? So there you go, 2 adjectives, explicit and implicit. I hope my explanation has been explicit and it hasn't left any doubts about the things that I've said. Mind you, learning a language, being uncertain, is implicit in learning a language. It's part and parcel of it. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Explicit, implicit.